Welcome back, everybody. Today we're getting into this little pistol that you see in my hands right here. This is a Tier Defense T11. Now this review has been about 2 years in the making. Back then the owners came to me and said, hey, if you were going to create an AR pistol, what kind of features would you look for, what components would you use, and all of that stuff. So this is part of that. I basically worked with the owners to select different components. They of course had some input as well as to what they wanted to use and what they thought would be attractive in the market, and basically this pistol is the outcome of that. So a few things I definitely went with, as you guys would probably expect. I focused on the barrel and the bolt carrier groups that are offered, because you guys know I am a believer that those are the heart and soul of the rifle. And they put some accessories on there to sort of make it flashy, lighten it up, and give it kind of a premium feel to it. So what we're going to do is first step outside and do the accuracy portion. And I should also mention that most of this review was shot before the ATF changed the rule and said you could shoulder it actually on camera. It was before we were shouldering it off camera. But on camera, some of this was shot before that, so you're going to see me not pulling it into my shoulder, but a lot of this was shot after that, so sort of a mix there of the two that you guys are going to see in footage. But we're going to step outside, test the accuracy of it, see what kind of groups we can get with it, and then we're going to come back in and go over all the different components that go into this little pistol.
Now we're going to see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this little pistol with the short barrel. It should be a tack driver, but you never know. So what we have in here right now is some Freedom Munitions remanufactured M855, so it's 5.56 chambered. And then we got a couple loads that are sort of match loads that we're going to run through it after that. But I just want to show how it does with some M193 55 grain stuff, and then continue on. So target down range at 100 yards on the rifle right now. We have the primary arms Platinum 1-8. Great glass on this, very, very nice. I have a review of it if you're interested in the 34mm American Defense Recon mount. The stand we're using is the CTK Precision stand, and that's about it. One thing I just need to throw out there is that since this is a brace and I'm not putting it in my shoulder, it's not quite as stable as I'd like it to be. I'm trying to do my best there, but ban the ATF, right? Hashtag. So that is definitely making me move around a little bit more down there on target than I'd want to. Next load we're putting in there is some Freedom Munitions. This is their match grade stuff. It's 69 grain hollow point boat tail ammo. It's a little bit heavier weight, and I shot this before. It seems to be pretty accurate, but you never know until you try it in the particular gun. So we'll send a few rounds down range with that, see what happens. Pretty decent again. So last load we have here is some Guerrilla Ammunition. This is the, again, 69 grain. This is with the Sierra Match King OTM bullet, open tip match. So this stuff, Guerrilla is always really, really accurate ammo. But again, you never know until you try it in that particular gun. But it seems to be pretty consistent across the board. And so far from what I can see through my scope, the groups actually don't look too bad. check them out. First group with that M93. Right at 1 3/4 inches. Then we moved over here to the 69 grain stuff from Freedom. At 1 inch on the dot. And then the Guerrilla. No matter how you measure it, you're right at 1 inch again. MOA coming out of there without the most stable platform, obviously not being able to pull it in my shoulder like you would with a rifle. I'll take that. Those are some pretty good results.
Getting into the details of the pistol, we'll start out front and sort of work our way back. This particular one has the SLR titanium muzzle brake on the end. You can see there, it has all those little ports in there all the way around with the exception of at the bottom, and that's designed to prevent dirt from kicking up when you're firing from the prone, but still give you really good muzzle rise compensation as well as reduce the recoil impulse of the pistol. Now, of course, in 5.56 there's not a lot of recoil anyway, but it definitely does a good job at that. It also creates a gigantic fireball, as you may have seen by now. So they also offer a linear compensator, which I think is their most popular one, so you can kind of pick between a couple options for the muzzle device. They offer two different barrel options for the T11 pistols. This one here has the 11.5 inch barrel. They also offer a 10.3. So when I was kind of giving my input, I went for the 11.5. I'm a big fan of it. As many of you guys who watch the channel for a long time know, one of the reasons is for just 1 inch versus say like a 10.5 inch barrel of added length, you get 40% more dwell time with the action. So basically what that's doing is giving you a larger room for error in the cycling process of your AR-15. So say your rifle is really dirty, your gas key is caked with carbon, the ammo is weak, or the ammo just has a large standard deviation that you're using. It gives you a little bit more room for error to cycle properly. So I also like the added velocity that you get out of the 11.5. Of course, it's an added bonus, and it still keeps the pistol relatively short overall. This one here folded up is only 22 inches long, and with the brace out, it's only 27 inches long, so still a very compact package. And the barrel is made out of 4150 CMD steel. It is MP and HP tested. It has a nitrided finish and a 1 in 8 twist rate, so it's going to handle pretty much any weight caliber or weight of ammo that you put through it, whether it be 55 grain or 75 grain, and should do quite well with it with that twist rate. The gas block on there is a titanium gas block as well, again just kind of keeping it nice and lightweight up front. And the handguard is Tyr's 12.5 inch M-LOK handguard. So we've got a few things going on with the handguard. It's made of 6061 aluminum, has M-LOK slots at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position, as well as at the in-between positions, as well as you can see we sort of have an interrupted top rail there, the M-LOK slots on top. And what that's doing is eliminating the 1913 rail up there and saving a little bit of weight. It also gives you the ability to mount 1913 rails there through an M-LOK slot if you want to. So say if you're using a light laser or anything like that, it needs to retain 0, you can put it up there. But of course this rail has the 1913 slots up front, and that's really what those are designed for. Anything that needs to hold 0. So if you have a laser on there, nothing really beats the 1913 rail in terms of return to 0 and holding 0 under harsh use. So that's why it's out there. It also has the quick detach sling point up front and at the back. Those are both at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions on each side of the rail. Next, we're going to go into the upper and lower receiver and some of the things going on with them. But first, we need to disassemble the pistol, so we'll get into that here real quick. This has the Law Tactical folder on there. I'm a big fan of it. We discussed it here on the channel before. And in order to take the pistol down, basically what you have to do is fold it first. So you're going to push this little button in here and fold it over to the side. At this point, we have this little buffer here that it goes into the back side of your bolt carrier, and we're going to push the button again and just pull that out and pull it out like that. At this point, we can push our carrier home, reassemble. We don't have to, but of course we can reassemble it, and then take our pins out and disassemble the upper and the lower. Of note, these pins are titanium, the takedown pins, so it's just one of the little touches they put on their titanium line. And there we go, breaks down like any other AR at that point. Getting into the bolt carrier group, they have a few different options for the customer out there. So basically they offer 3 bolt carrier groups that you can choose from their little menu on their website. So we have our TIN finished one, which is the one we have here. They also offer a full nickel boron one, and then they also offer the adjustable one, and that is going to be with the bootleg carrier. Now, I'm a big fan of that, and that was one of my suggestions when developing this pistol. So a lot of guys wanted to go with the adjustable gas block for folks who run suppressors, and I'm a bigger fan of running the adjustable carrier if you can. So basically the bootleg one, I have one in, you guys have probably seen it here on the channel, allows the user to pull the carrier out real quick with a screwdriver, set the gas setting, and then put it back in, and it's detented. It's locked with a detent rather, so it's almost impossible that anything's going to go wrong with that. Whereas with an adjustable gas block, there sort of is some room for error in terms of the actual gas setting moving around a little bit. I tried to eliminate all the possibilities for error as much as we could for guys who want to run these pistols suppressed. So that's why we offer those three options there with the pistol. So getting into this one, this of course, like I said, is the TIM one. It has that nice gold coloration on there. We have a full auto profile. So should you guys ever run it in full auto, it will trip the sear, which is a good thing. Good staking on there. We do have a tool steel gas key on there, properly staked, and the carrier, or rather the bolt itself, is made of Carpenter 158 steel. It is MP tested, and here on the extractor, again, it is a mil-spec extractor and has the black insert as well as the O-ring. Some folks who know a lot about bolt carrier groups will kind of argue that you want one of these but not both. But we found here in this particular pistol it works perfectly fine with both in there and gives you a nice positive extraction and ejection. Both the upper and lower are billet aluminum, and the debate out there between forged and billet will rage forever, but billet gives you a little bit more opportunity as a manufacturer to put out kind of cool designs, and Tier certainly did that in my opinion with the upper and lower receiver. Of course, it does add a little bit of weight over a forged offering, but you can see here we do have the shell deflector as well as the forward assist. I'm a fan of the forward assist. I do like to have it. It just makes me feel good on the inside. Then our charging handle is the Badger Ordnance. This is the G3, nice and wide. It has the two ears there on each side to be able to run the charging handle if you have a malfunction, or if you're just practicing malfunctions, or some folks like to do it when they load the rifle as well. So it gives you that option. You can see here on the upper receiver we do have M4 feed ramps cut into there that are blended very nicely with the barrel extension, as you would expect. Here on the lower receiver, there is just a ton going on. So let me zoom in here and we'll get into that. As I mentioned, when disassembling the pistol, the takedown pins are made out of titanium, and pretty much anything you see on here that's shiny and metal is made out of titanium, to include this little 57-degree safety. It's ambidextrous, as you guys can see. It's on both sides, and unlike a traditional safety, it only goes down to 57 degrees. I do like that. It's a nice touch to not have to go all the way down. It's not a deal breaker, but again, it is nice. We do have our mag release here, which has good checkering on it, just like our bolt release. So positive grip on there when you're actually smacking them. And the triggers on this particular pistol, I went with a Timney. However, they offer a drop-down menu over on their website, and basically they offer the AR Gold flat and curved trigger, the CMC flat and curved trigger, the Timney trigger that you see here, and they also offer Geissele triggers. So I believe their website doesn't have the Geissele ones on there, but anything that you guys want, if you guys were picking out a pistol to be made for you, I definitely recommend giving Tier a call. They're a relatively small business. If you guys call them, someone will pick up the phone and actually walk you through what they can offer in terms of building the pistol for you. So anyway, those are the trigger options available, and the Timney trigger is excellent. I've used this on several pistols in the past, AR pistols, and it breaks clean right at 3 pounds once you set it, and has almost no movement with a very positive reset, as you guys are going to see here. But basically, as soon as you put pressure on it, it's breaking. There's almost no pre-travel, which I do like. It's a very fast trigger. The AR Gold triggers are also very fast. For guys who like to shoot really fast, those are good ones for sure. On the bottom side of the receiver, we have a nice beveling here on the magwell, and I kind of like the design of the magwell. It looks cool, and it's also functional. The trigger guard is built into the lower, and again, they took a little bit of material out just to lighten it up a bit. The pistol grip on this particular pistol is the Hogue grip. They offer a ton of different ones, so really any of the big ones out there, Magpul, BCM, etc., they're all there if that's what you guys would like to put on your pistol. But this one's nice. It lets you get nice and high up in the receiver, which I do like, and it's got a decent grip to it as well. So maybe not my favorite pistol grip, but it's definitely a good one, and one I wouldn't change out at all for sure. Continuing to move back, we have the Law Tactical Folder, which I mentioned earlier. This one, in terms of foldable stock type devices, this is the best one I know of in terms of reliability and durability. A lot of folks ask if you can fire it when it's folded. You can. You just can do it for one shot. Now, Law Tactical recommends against doing that, but in a pinch, if you need to, you absolutely can get one shot off with it. It does add about 1 inch to the length of pull of your pistol, which is nice. And then we have a titanium QD plate at the end, as well as castle nut. And then the buffer tube is the CAC buffer tube. And that's nice because it interfaces with this blade here. And what that does is allows you to set the length of pull when you're setting it up for use. So basically you just adjust this little screw right here, set the length to what you want it at, and then tighten it down. There's little detents built into this buffer tube that allow it to lock up nice and secure, so it's not going to move anywhere on you should you be firing it from the shoulder or anything like that, accidentally, according to the ATF, and put a little pressure on it, it will stay in place, which is nice. I left out a few details that I've noticed so far. There's probably more I didn't notice, but number one, it does come with backup iron sights. This one here was partly my input as well, so you guys can blame me if you don't like it, but it comes with the M+2s from Magpul. Now, the reason I picked these is if you guys actually go and look at some of the military testing they did of backup iron sights, they found these ones to be the most durable in their testing, and that included a lot of aluminum and steel options out there. They found these ones were the most durable at the time, so that study is probably the only study I've seen in terms of durability of backup iron sights, and was enough for me to sort of confidently recommend these because they are really very durable sights. Of course, they're relatively lightweight as well, which I do like. Now, the pistol also comes with a laser cut hard case, so it has the laser cut foam in there for your pistol to go in. Comes with a couple of PMags as well, and with that laser cut case, if you add optics to it, you can of course cut that around to fit the optic of your choice. Like I said, there's a few options for a lot of the parts here: the muzzle brake, the barrel length. They offer the 2 different barrel lengths, the bolt carrier group, and other things. So they also offer different options when it comes to colors. So basically, your one color or dual color schemes are going to be included in the price. But if you want like a fancy camo pattern, multicam, Cryptek, something like we have here with this gray pattern, it's going to be $200 extra just for the labor that goes into the Cerakote process. And with that, I should also mention that everything is type 3 hard anodized underneath. So it's type 3 hard anodized, and then they put the Cerakote on it. So it's a very durable finish. And of course, price is one thing I know you guys want to know. So this particular model, the Titanium series, goes for $2,700. Some of you may have just had sticker shock, and that's okay. They also offer a more budget-friendly line, and basically you remove the folding brace, you take all the titanium stuff off and replace it with standardized parts, and that one there comes in at $1,650. And right now they're also offering, with that one, they're offering a free AR gold trigger if you guys order now. So I'm not sure how long that'll last, just pointing that out. So they're certainly not inexpensive pistols, but they are very reliable. We've had zero issues with it. It had good accuracy, as you guys saw, and the components of it are pretty nice as well. It's relatively lightweight. Like I mentioned, it comes in at 5 pounds, 6 ounces. So overall, it's just a good little package. And of course, if you've been shouldering it the whole time, it shoots well and it's very easy to control, and really can do a wide variety of things. So if you guys have any questions about the pistol, anything like that, you can always post down below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and we hope to see you in the next video.